everyone! So it's been a while. I'm about 4 weeks out from moving to Japan, which is insane, by the way. I have no idea. I'm really excited. Anyways, So I've been getting a lot of questions from a lot of different people recently about why exactly it is that Japan is kind of the course my life has taken. I thought that today would be a good day to sit down and maybe try and explain. It's, kind of things just kind of happen. I think life takes you in really unexpected places. And I certainly did not expect this outcome if I went back and told 10-year-old me that this is where I'd be going in my life. I don't think I'd believe myself. I did not see this path coming at all. So I guess I'll try and explain to you guys how it is that this is where I'm headed. And if you don't know where this is that I'm headed, I have been accepted into the JET program as an ALT, which stands for Assistant Language Teacher, which means that I will be living and working in Japan at a public middle school as not the main teacher. I'm not qualified to be a main teacher. I'm just there as an assistant to the teacher to help ease the weight of teaching so many classes and teaching English in general. And so I'll be the help, and I'll be able to interact with the kids and really help them learn and grow their understanding of English, as well as a better understanding of cultural exchange in the world in general, as I'm a representative of my country and of the global community by doing this, and I am over the moon. So I guess I should start with where it started. Does that probably make sense? So back in the beginning of high school, so when I was a freshman, of course, when you're a freshman in high school, you don't know where life's going. You don't know. When I was in 3rd grade, I thought I was going to be an Egyptologist. When I was in 6th grade, I thought I was going to be an author. When I was in early high school, I don't know where I thought I was going. I had a lot of passions. I loved reading. I loved writing. That was really big for me. I think I still thought that writing was probably going to be somewhere I was going to go. However, I knew I loved sciences. I really loved the sciences, and I knew I really loved Spanish class. But I never saw the language thing coming, and so I went to a very tiny high school. To put that into perspective, my graduating class was 22 people, so yes, very small. So everyone within the school community knew each other, obviously, there was no way you didn't. And so me and my best friend at the time, the two of us were hanging out in our principal's office. And we didn't do anything, we were just chilling with him because that's just how the school was. And we were hanging out with him, and I think he was just asking us, what are you thinking of doing? You're freshmen, And so the two of us, we're goofy, we're teenagers, we were joking, oh man, it would be cool to travel someday. I could travel to Japan someday, that would be really cool. We really want to go to Japan someday. And he looked at us, and to this day, my family still harasses him that this is all his fault, because he looked at us and he goes, girls, you can do an exchange program, And of course the two of us were like, that's so funny. My parents won't let me know. Lo and behold, Cash mentioned it to my parents. A few weeks later, they come back and they're like, we think that's a great idea. And of course, 15-year-old me's like, what? Yes? I can do that. Let me do that. So I did that. We did some research. We came up with the best program for where I was in life was the AFS exchange program for high school students, and they offer not only semester and year-long programs, but they also offer summer language intensive courses, which was what we were going for, because in high school, for me, I didn't have a lot of flexibility in being able to take off a semester here and deal with transfer credits and blah 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 blah. So we were that's a great idea. And for Japan, they had a 6-week summer intensive language program. And so both of us, my best friend and I, we both applied. We both got in. We both got placed with host families right outside of Tokyo. And so the summer between my sophomore and junior year of high school, I flew off to Japan. And that was the craziest experience of my life. So I had taken Spanish since kindergarten, but I had never ever studied Japanese. I didn't know. And of course I tried to self-teach myself a little bit before I went, but no, I was 16. Nothing. It was pathetic. And looking back at it in perspective, looking at it from the me of right now, I was such an idiot. Like, it's just so funny what was so mind-boggling then to me is such a normal thing now, and who would have known, right? And so I went. I lived with a young couple. I'm actually where I am now in life. They were only a couple of years older than me at the time. They had like a 1-year-old son. It was a tiny apartment in the Chiba prefecture. And I had to commute into Tokyo every day to attend a language school. And that was my life for 6 weeks. And it was crazy. I didn't speak Japanese. I was like, what's going on? And, you know, I was 16. I didn't understand anything about Japan in terms of where to go, what to do, blah, blah, blah. Everything just looked different to me, and I was just like, what? You know, I was this girl from a small town, and I was like, what's going on here? And, you know, so I was like, what? But it was crazy. It was a crazy experience for me, because I had never been that far away from home, obviously. I had never been that far away from home for that long. I'd never been in a foreign country before. I'd never done any of it, and I did it all at once. And it was the best decision I could have ever made. I came back from that and ended up deciding that the language just suited me. There was something about it that I wanted to unlock. It was frustrating knowing that I was there and I couldn't communicate and I couldn't get around, and I wanted to be able to understand the language. I wanted to be able to communicate. I wanted to be able to explore. And so I decided to go to college for Japanese. So I majored in Japanese at the University of Vermont. And my junior year, I spent the entire year studying abroad at Kansai Gaidai University in Hirakatashi, which is in Kansai, and is about 30 minutes either way from Osaka or Kyoto. And it was the best year of my life, the best year of my life. Kansai Gaidai was the perfect fit for me as a university. It was amazing. I made the most incredible friends on that experience. My language ability just went leaps and bounds. I loved going out and traveling and having new experiences. All of us decided to have like a 4-day trip down to Okinawa. We found a hostel on a tiny island off of Okinawa. It was incredible. It was just everything about that experience. That 1 year just changed me. Like, the person that I came back to America as after that trip was completely different than that person that went off there. And it was so life-changing for me, and I just loved it. I flourished. I loved it. Everything about it was amazing, and I hadn't had enough. So, faced with my senior year of college, which is a pretty scary thing, I decided to apply to the JET program. And the JET program is it's difficult to get into, and to the point that my professors were like, yeah, you should apply to a few of these. People have, we really only ever have one or no kids getting into it. And actually my advisor and the professor who I had for senior year as well, she was wonderful. She was like, oh, you're gonna get in, don't worry about it. She's like, she was such a support for me, and that really helped me get through, because it's a long process for the JET program. It's a job, and so you have to, I think 10,000 people apply yearly, and then from that they cut that in half for personal interviews, and then they cut that in half again for people that they actually accept. And you know, it's a waiting game. It's a waiting game to hear back. You have to wait a couple months to hear if you've been invited for an interview. Then you have to wait a couple months to go to the interview, and then you have to wait a couple more months to find out if you've been accepted. So that mixed with my senior year of college was pretty crazy, but the moment I got accepted, I just knew that I'd done the right thing. And who would have known that, you know, when 15-year-old me was joking with my best friend in the principal's office about how we'd love to travel to Japan someday, that I'd be sitting here at age 22 with a bachelor's degree in Japanese and a job in Japan. So that is kind of the journey that I took, and why it is that I'm moving back to Japan, and why it is that this is my passion, and it's not something I ever expected. It just happened, and I just going there like unlocked this passion for both language and for exploration and travel for me that, you know, I never knew I had. I never knew that was in me. How would I have known? How, living and growing up in a small town, how would I have known how wonderful the experience of traveling and meeting new people and being able to communicate like comfortably into different languages? Every part about it makes me smile. I'm just so happy. And so I guess that's the story. That's all she wrote. That's how this crazy little redhead is going back to Japan for the third time, and hopefully for a few years as a teacher. What? And so I guess the moral of the story, if there's anything to come out of my ramblings, is to always remember that, you know, life takes you in crazy places and you might not always expect it, but you're gonna end up somewhere really good. And I'm headed off somewhere that I couldn't be happier about. And I hope that everyone else out there finds that happiness in, you know, whatever unexpected and crazy form it takes. So thanks for listening to me ramble today, guys, and I'll see you soon.